Hello and welcome. My name is Ronnie. I live in Sweden. I have a driving school in my hometown Trollhättan. This video is about to show you how to do a safety check on the car. When it's time for your driving exam, the driving examiner is going to ask you to do a safety check. You can do the inner, the outer one, the external, and under the hood. And I'm going to show you how to do this. First, you have to get in the car. You press the start button, no clutch this time, and the power comes on. And on this car I have to press the mode button one time, so I activate the low beam, and then I do three things: fog light front, fog light rear, the turn signal, and I put it in the reverse. Then we go out and check. You have the low beam, you have the turning signal, you have the fog light. And on the other side, you have the low beam, and where the turning signal was earlier on the other side, you have the parking light, and you have the fog light. And now it's time to check the pattern on the tire. This is a winter tire, and the minimum pattern is 3 millimeter in Sweden, and on summer tire it's 1.6 millimeter. So you have to check so it's okay. This tire is almost new because the car is only 4 months, I think, 3-4 months. So this tire is very good. And you also check that you have air in the tire, so you don't have a flat. You should see that it is very flat. It's no good. We check the turning signal on the mirror, and we check the rear tire, and the pattern is very good and you have air in it. You should also check the tire has a mountain and a snowflake in it, and M plus S, mud plus snow mark. This indicates that it's a real winter tire. You have the left rear light, you have the left turning signal, and you have this red light, who is the fog light, rear fog light. You have the right rear light, and you have the reverse light. And you also have this red reflex, and you also have to check the number plate lights. Now it's time to go to the driver door and change two things. We are going to set the right turning signal, and we are going to activate the high beam. So we change the turning signal to the right, and on this car I push this lever front, and that's activate the high beam. And now we check the new stuff we put on, and we have the high beam, and this time you have the parking light, and the other side we have the turning signal and the high beam. We check this tire, and you have more than 3 millimeters. You have the turning signal on the mirror, and this tire has good pattern too. And as you can see, you have air in the tire as well. The only new thing in the rear is the turning signal on the right. And now you have to ask the examiner of help to test the brake. It should be 3 brake lights. So I'm going to do that. And that was the external safety check on the car. You went in the car, you push on the power, no clutch, and you did on this car you have to put it in low beam mode, but you did a front fog light, the rear fog light, the left turning signal, you put it in reverse. You went to the front left side, you check the left turning signal, the low beam and the fog light. And you check the right side in the front, and it was the low beam, it was the fog light, and you have the parking light. Then you check the front left wheel, if the pattern was okay and you have air in it. You check the turning signal on the left side mirror, and you check also the rear left tire, the pattern and air. And then we checked all the things in the rear of the car. You had left turning signal, the left rear light, and you had the red fog light, the rear light and the reverse light, red reflex, and the number plate light. We went to the driver's door, changed two things. We put on the high beam and the right turning signal. We went to the front of the car and checked all the new thing you put on. And you have the left parking light, you had the high beam, and on the right side you have the high beam and the turning signal. We checked the front right tire, it was okay, the pattern was good and air in it. You had the mirror turning signal, and you had the rear right tire also, it was good. And then you only have the right turning signal, and then ask somebody to brake and see if it was 3 brake lights, and that's it. This is the whole safety check. When you do your driving exam, it may happen that the driving examiner maybe only ask for a little part of the whole control. So maybe you only have to go out and check the tires, or all the thing in the rear, all the thing in the front. Okay, now we are going to do the safety check under the hood. It's pretty simple, it's only 5 things to check. Earlier car maybe have 6 things to check. This modern car has electric power steering. Some of the older car, or maybe some of the newer as well, have an oil in the power steering. So if you have one of those, you have to check that as well. But this car has an electric. So 5 things: 4 fluid and the battery. First we have to open the hood, and we do that in the car. Most of the car have one of these, or maybe up here, so I pull in this and the hood is almost open. Now I have to open the one more thing here. So I pull this to the left and open the hood, and I have to put this up as well. On this car you have the washer fluid, you have the car battery, you have the brake fluid, you have the engine oil and the dipstick, and the coolant fluid. So we are going to check this now. Here we have the washer fluid. You can't see how much you have in it. This car is so smart, so it tells you when you have to fill it. Here we have the car battery. This is a black battery, and that's a modern battery. You can charge it, or you can replace it if it goes bad. The older one, who have the transparent plastic here, you can refill with distilled water, but you do not do that in this battery. Some of the new battery also have a window you can check if the battery is okay, but this does not have one. You have the brake fluid. It says max. I don't know if you see this on the video, but it's pretty high, so that's good. This you should change every 2 years, because the brake fluid absorbs moisture and the boiling point is lowered. Here we have the coolant fluid. It sets minimum, and you have a line here, so it's okay. It should be over minimum. And the coolant fluid consists of 50% glycol and 50% water. And last we have the engine oil. Here you fill it, and the oil dipstick. And we need some paper, so I'm going to test the engine oil. So I take up the oil dipstick, take some paper, dry it off. I don't know if you can see this now, but you have a lower and a higher. And now when it's dry, you put it in all the way down, and then up again, and then you check the level. This is a little lower and in the middle, so it's total okay. If it had been a little lower, I have put in maybe a half a liter in this, and then it's okay. So that was the under the hood. Okay, we have done the external safety check and under the hood safety check, and now we're going to do the internal safety check on the car. First, I'm going to get in the car and adjust the seat, steering wheel and the mirror, and put on the seat belt. I'm also going to check that the seat belts is okay. And then we are going to do a series of 9 points in the safety check. The first I do is go up and down with the seat, and you do it here on this car, and I always want to have a fist between my head and the roof, and that's okay. And then I put for my back, do I sit good, comfortable, and I'm forward. I always push down the clutch to see, yeah, I think it's good. And I pull my arm, and I want the steering wheel here. So I want to take this a little bit now. You see? This is good. And now I'm adjusting the mirrors, and I want to see a little bit of the car, of course, in the mirror. And I adjust them here in the door. And when you have adjusted your seat and your steering wheel and the mirrors, you put on the seat belt, and it should lie flat on you. If you have a big bulky jacket, open it up and put the seat belt near the body. You only take the seat belt and pull hard, and it should stay there. All right. When you have done these 4 stuff, I say on this modern car you have 9 steps to do this internal safety check. After you have adjusted the seat and the mirrors and that stuff, you do not have the clutch down and press the start button. The electricity on the car is on. You start by pushing the fan for the front window and the electric heated rear window. You can see these black lines in the rear windows, and when I push that button it comes electricity on this, and this will clear the fog or if you have ice on the rear window. Then you take your left hand and pull down hard on the steering wheel and push down the clutch, and now we start the engine. And now you have tested the power steering. Many new modern car have an electromechanical brake servo, so you can't test that in the car. That's how it is. All right, now it's time to check the horn. So no one around? Yes, that worked. Next step is to check for warning symbol, warning lights, if something wrong in the display. And now you see the door is open, so now the door is closed. And this indicates that the parking brake is on. So it's nothing wrong with the car. Next step is to wash the front and rear window. So I pull this towards me. That works. And to wash the rear window, I pull it away from me. Now we have tested 7 of the 9 stuff. This is the next one, the parking brake. And this car, if I put it in gear and no brake, you see it's on. When I release the clutch, it's jump out. So in this car you have to hold it up and then drive forward or backward. If you have an older handbrake, it won't jump out. And the last thing is to try the foot brake. So I drive 50 centimeters and then I test the brake. Alright, we have tested the external safety check and under the hood, and this was the internal safety check. Remember to come prepared for your driving exam, so you will get the driving license. Thank you for watching.